Hey, Rising Church, I hope you guys are all doing well and that you're off to a great start so far in your growth. My prayer and hope is that through the semester that you will really truly bond with each other and you will really make some connections and deeper connections and really dig your roots into each other's lives so that you can help support each other and encourage each other. You can hold each other accountable. You can spur each other on. You can sharpen one another as iron sharpens iron. I hope that's what you desire in your growth, is that God's going to use it in order to move you and lead you into a deeper, more vibrant relationship with himself. And so I'm looking forward to what God has in store, and just kind of want to let you know what we're going to be talking about this semester. You know, in the past, we've been real up front saying, here's what we're going to be talking about this semester. We're going to be talking about Revelation or Proverbs or Luke, or we're going to be reading a book by Francis Chan or something else. And so this semester, we haven't really revealed that just yet. And so I kind of want to let you know what we're going to be talking about. And this semester, our theme, it's the same theme that we've had in Sunday morning the last 2 weeks, but this idea of sent. That's what we're going to be talking about in our groves, this idea that God is sending us. Just as he sent Jesus, as we read in Isaiah 61:1, that the Spirit of the Sovereign Lord was on him in order to proclaim good news to the poor. He was sent to bind up the brokenhearted and to bring sight to the blind. That's what we believe that God did with Jesus, and that's true of us as well, that God is sending us. He has sent us on a mission for a purpose. There's a reason that we are here and that the church exists and why Rising Church is around. And so that's what we're going to be unpacking this semester, and I hope that's going to be something you get excited about. I would kind of describe it as missions boot camp, if you will. This idea that, you know, with the students, we do these months and months of preparation to prepare them to be sent out on the mission field on their short-term mission trips. And so we're going to take that same kind of idea and we're going to bring it into our groves, this idea that how can we spur each other on? How can we talk about and discuss and prepare ourselves as a church to be sent. And so it's going to look a little eclectic this semester. It's going to be some videos, it's going to be some Bible studies, it's going to be looking at some certain passages, it's going to be some activities, it might even be some games, but with the whole idea of preparing all of us to be sent, because we believe that God has sent all of us. And so that's what we're going to be unpacking. And so I'm excited about that. I hope you'll get excited about it too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be really interesting. I think we're going to have some really fun discussions, and so we'll see how it all goes. But before we kind of dive into all that, I want to talk a little bit about this idea of being a grove. And you may be tired of me saying this kind of stuff, but I really truly believe that we need each other in order to grow, and that we really need to support one another. And so, as I've said before, knowing each other and kind of digging each other into each other's lives, it's uncomfortable, it's inconvenient, and kind of another word I would add to that is it can be potentially painful. And here's why: because when you know each other, when you're connected with each other, when you care and love each other, you expose yourself to pain. And here's why: because if I'm at church and I'm sitting next to people that I don't know and I'm indifferent towards, then I don't feel their pain. I don't really care. Their problem is their problem. I'm just focused on me and getting what I want. But when we're asking you to be in a grove and connect with each other, then we're asking you to care about the pain and the hurt of the person next to you and the pain and hurt of the person across from you, and to adopt that pain and walk with them through their pain. And so it can hurt. And I often quote, I'm sure you're tired of me quoting the Lumineers song "Stubborn Love," but that's kind of what they say, and I think it's a biblical principle, this idea that it's better to feel pain than nothing at all. And then it says the opposite of love is indifference. And so in your grove, we're asking you not to be indifferent. And how are you not indifferent? You're not indifferent because you care, because you love, because you're invested, because you're connected. And so that's why groves, it is inconvenient, it is uncomfortable, and it can be even painful, because we are going to be there to help each other with our pain and our suffering. And that's one of the things that we want groves to be there for, is a safe place. And so that's one of the things that you're going to be doing today as you start off this semester. We're going to be talking about this idea of sent. You're going to unpack a couple verses, but before you do that, I have a little, I don't say activity, but what I really want you guys to do is to lay down some ground rules, if you will, for how your grove, not all groves, but your grove specifically, is going to operate. What are the expectations that you want to have of each other, that I can say, here's what I want from you, and here's what you want from me, and here's what we're going to agree to, and we're going to write these things down and say these are our rules for growth, how we're going to talk to each other, how we're going to approach each other, whatever it may be. and we're going to sign off on that saying, hey, we're committing ourselves to these ground rules for how we're going to choose to operate as a Grove so that we can spur each other on, so that we can motivate each other and push each other and encourage each other, so that we can come alongside and not be indifferent towards each other, but truly love each other. And so that's something that I really want you guys to spend some time on before we dive into this idea of sent. And I just want you to be aware again that because we're trying to be vulnerable, because we're trying to be a place where we're accepted and walk together, then it can be messy and it can be painful because you're exposing yourself to the hurt of others and you're allowing them to potentially hurt you, because when you love somebody and they either walk away or they reject you, then it hurts. But that's okay, because it's better to love, it's better to feel pain than nothing at all and be indifferent. And so that's an idea I just want to plant in your head because I think it's important. I don't think we talk a lot about that when it comes to small groups or church. But loving other people means you are vulnerable to pain, and that's okay. And it's okay to grieve pain and grieve loss, but don't run from it. And so that's what I want you to guys consider in your Grove is what are some of the ground rules that are going to help us be able to accomplish that. But be okay with it, exposing yourself, I guess, to pain, and that doesn't sound like a good thing, but it is. And so maybe you can even discuss that. But just some stuff to get you guys started. Hopefully it's going to be a great semester. Maybe next week is going to look a little different video-wise, so be prepared because, again, it's going to be an eclectic study. But I hope you're looking forward to it, and I will talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.